Have you noticed how Canada is almost always described as one of the safest, most stable countries on Earth? A place people assume will always be calm, predictable, and untouched by the chaos reshaping the world. But what if that sense of safety was built on conditions that no longer exist? In reality, Canada's stability depends on geography, climate, and global assumptions that are quietly breaking down faster than most people realize. Vast distances that once felt protective now create bottlenecks. A frozen north that once acted as a barrier is opening to the world. And a country long defined by peace is being pulled into pressures it never had to confront before. To understand where Canada is going next, you first have to understand why its calm has never been as guaranteed as it looks. At first glance, Canada seems invincible. Vast forests, sprawling lakes, and frozen tundras give the impression of endless space, a natural fortress. But here's the catch. Size alone doesn't equal power. Most of that land is harsh, sparsely populated, and extremely difficult to develop. The empty Arctic North is full of resources, but it's locked behind permafrost, icy seas, and infrastructure nightmares. Even southern Canada, where most of the population lives, stretches across distances that make connectivity, trade, and defense far more complex than people realize. Roads, railways, and pipelines aren't just expensive, they're lifelines in a country where a winter storm can isolate communities for weeks. And while Americans take it for granted that Canada is a peaceful neighbor, those same geographic challenges quietly dictate what the country can and cannot do, turning its apparent calm into a delicate balance. Canada's vastness might seem like independence, but in reality, it's quietly tethered to a single neighbor, the United States. Economically, politically, and militarily, Canada's fate is intertwined with its southern border in ways that few outside notice. Nearly 75% of Canadian trade flows to the US, and critical infrastructure from pipelines to electricity grids is built with this dependency baked in. That makes Canada incredibly prosperous, yet subtly constrained. Any major shift in US policy or global pressure instantly reverberates north, limiting choices that older generations assumed were entirely Canadian. Even defense is shaped by proximity. While it seems safe behind miles of forests and lakes, Canada relies heavily on shared intelligence and alliances to protect its borders. Beneath the maple leaf image lies a quiet reality. Canada's apparent autonomy is largely a carefully maintained illusion, dependent on a neighbor whose priorities don't always align. Canada is often seen as a treasure trove of natural wealth, endless forests, massive mineral deposits, and freshwater reserves that could supply the world. But resources alone don't make a country powerful. Much of Canada's potential lies in regions that are nearly impossible to access, especially as climate change accelerates. Melting permafrost destabilizes roads, pipelines, and buildings. Forests face increasingly destructive wildfires. And the northern seas, once frozen solid, are now opening faster than infrastructure or governance can handle. Even water and timber, which seem inexhaustible, come with hidden risks. Overuse, extreme weather, and slow supply chains make them fragile. The comfort older generations assumed that Canada's size and resources automatically meant security is fading. Beneath the serene lakes and majestic mountains, the country is quietly racing against environmental forces that could reshape its economy, its population centers, and even its global influence in ways most people never see coming. The real challenge for Canada isn't just today, it's the rapidly changing Arctic. As ice melts faster than scientists predicted, new shipping routes are opening, untapped mineral reserves are suddenly accessible, and global powers are circling with clear economic and strategic intentions. What was once considered a remote, almost irrelevant region is now a hotspot for international competition, And Canada is at the center of it all. Military presence, territorial claims, and resource control are no longer theoretical. They are urgent questions that Canada must answer, and quickly. Older generations could take the Arctic's isolation for granted, assuming it was a natural barrier. Today, that barrier is disappearing, leaving Canada exposed to geopolitical pressures it has never faced before, forcing the country to make decisions that could redefine its economy, sovereignty, and even its place in the global order. So, is Canada truly the calm, untouchable giant of the North? Not entirely. Its vast landscapes, abundant resources, and stable cities create an image of invulnerability. But behind the maple leaf myth lies a country quietly constrained by distance, climate, and dependence on one powerful neighbor. Its northern frontiers are opening to the world faster than anyone anticipated, and the very forces older generations took for granted are reshaping what stability means. Canada isn't weak, but its strength is fragile, carefully balanced, and increasingly tested by forces beyond its borders. The serene image we've always held? It may be the illusion that keeps us comfortable, while the real story of Canada's power, limitations, and the high-stakes future of its Arctic is still unfolding, largely out of view.